Below this video is a link provided to download WAMP server. So follow the link to get to this website, or you can as well on Google type download WAMP server. So as soon as you type that, you'll be brought with different options where you can get WAMP server. So clicking on this first link should take you to this website. So either ways, you can come over here to download WAMP server. Yes, you can see. So we'll be downloading our WAMP server. Towards the bottom of the site, you see these two options: WAMP server 64 bits or WAMP server 32 bits, depending on your operating system. So whichever operating system you run. In my case, I run Windows 10 on 64 bits. I already have WAMP server installed on my system, so I won't be downloading it all over. So, but this is how you get WAMP server. As soon as you come over to this place, you hit this green button here, download latest version. But since I already have WAMP server, I won't go ahead to download. But when you hit this button, the download should start. Okay, I think we have a problem. It's after 0, it keeps refreshing and it's not bringing out the option to download. So in a situation like this, we use the problems downloading button to resolve it, and it brings out this pop-up, or it will open on a new window. All you need to do is use this option. Please use this direct link or try another mirror. So we are going to use direct link. So here we are. The window has popped out. So I'll hit the save file, but remember, I'm not installing this afresh. I'm not rather downloading this afresh because I already have it. But once you hit this file, you should see your download progress over here, or if you're on the Chrome browser, at the bottom left corner of your screen. So heading over to the downloads folder, you should see in the WAMP server. Double click on it to run the setup. Select English and continue. Accept the agreements. Next. Next. Here, this is the default location where WAMP will be installed. So you either choose this location or you browse a different location to save your WAMP, to install WAMP server. Next. Next. Install. Now while the installation is going on, I'll pause this video and then we'll resume as soon as the installation finishes. So the WAMP installation has finished. So it's asking, do you want to choose another browser installed on your system? I'll use yes. I prefer using Firefox. It said, do you want to change another text editor installed on your system? Yes. I don't want to use the default notepad. So in this video, in our lecture, we'll be using Sublime Text. So I'll head over to change it from notepad to Sublime Text editor. So the installation is finished. We'll click on next and finish. Okay, now so we've successfully installed WAMP server on our system. Remember, during the installation, we chose the default C drive. So heading over to the C drive, we should see the WAMP server. Here, this is not the folder. Remember, we installed the WAMP 64, so this is the one we just installed now. Now we are going to start WAMP server to enable us access localhost via the web browser. Coming over to WAMP manager over here, double click on it to start the WAMP server. As you can see from the taskbar, the WAMP manager has started, but resting your mouse on it, it says none of 3 services running, so it is offline, and that is why the icon is in red. To get these 3 services running, you just tap or left click on the icon to bring out the option. So we are going to start all services. When we hit on that start all services, the service will start and then WAMP server will be up and running. So it turns yellow, meaning that it's getting ready to start, and now it's green, telling us that the WAMP server is now running. Now heading over to the web browser, in the previous video we saw how the XAMPP control panel, how it is accessed and how we started the Apache service, and then we checked localhost on the web browser to make sure that XAMPP is running properly. So coming over to this place on your address bar, now remember the XAMPP server is not running, but we have the WAMP server running. So typing localhost here and hitting enter should bring out the WAMP server, as you can see. Now this is our WAMP server and it is running properly. Coming over here where we have your project, you can see that there is nothing there, it's empty. Now remember, in the previous video we talked about the most important folder in the XAMPP server. Let me go back to the XAMPP server. Here is the XAMPP. I said the most important folder for the XAMPP server is the htdocs, and this is because it is the root folder where every files you intend running on the web browser will be stored. It's also the same for the WAMP server. The most important folder in the WAMP server is the www folder. This is the root folder for WAMP server. So while the htdocs is the root folder for the XAMPP server, the www folder is the root folder for the WAMP server. Now this is the folder where all your files or folders or subfolders will be stored to enable you run or execute your PHP code. Now this index.php file here is what we see here. Now let's create a simple project folder and see if it will appear over here. Now create a new folder and call it new project. We've created our new folder called new project. So let's head back to the browser and refresh. Now we see the new project folder over here. So as many folder or subfolder you'll be creating over here will be applied here. The folders will be applied here. The subfolder will be inside the folders. Now inside this folder, let's create a new file called newfile.php. Text documents. Okay, new file.php. Now inside this new file.php, let's write just a simple plain text. This is a new file. Save, Ctrl S, and then we can close this and refresh from the web browser. Now you can't see the new file because it is inside the folder new project. So to access our new file, to make sure that it's working, we use the / new project, which is the folder name, / new file.php. So you can see this is a new file. So our new file is working properly. It is inside a folder called new project, and that is the meaning of the / The new file is inside a folder called new project. Without the new project, you are telling the web browser that this file exists here that this file you are seeing here exists outside this new project folder, maybe somewhere here, and when you run the code, rather when you run this, it will bring out a 404 error, meaning the page cannot be found. There is nothing like new file.php in here. As you can see, there is nothing like new file.php. But if we bring out the new file.php, cuts, Ctrl X, cuts, Ctrl V, paste. Now we've pasted it outside the new file project, the new projects folder. We can also delete this. Refreshing it on the web browser, we are going to see that it will work just fine, because now the file exists outside the projects folder. Also, our new projects folder is no longer there, we've deleted it. So this is how to start WAMP service, as well as using the important folder, which is the root folder, the www folder, to store all your projects and files to enable you display them on the web browser. In the next lesson, first of all, I want you to make a decision which of these servers to go for. Is it the XAMPP server or the WAMP server? So whichever you feel is more comfortable with you, you go for it. Then, as you've made your choice using the XAMPP or the WAMP server, I want you to create a folder called PHP projects in either of the server, whether the XAMPP server or the WAMP server. Create a folder, remember, in the root folder. If you're on XAMPP, you're going to be creating that folder in the htdocs folder. And if you are using the WAMP server, you're going to be creating that folder within the www folder. So go ahead, create a new folder called PHP projects in any server you decide to use for this class.